In 2009, I was a sophomore at Eastern Michigan University. A year prior, I had voted for the first time in a presidential election, and I was so excited to vote for President Barack Obama. So excited. Yes, for the obvious reason. However, I remembered hearing him speak maybe four or 8 years prior at the Democratic National Convention, and I knew then that he would run. I knew then that he would win, and I knew then that he would make incredible change. So let me go back to 2009. I was standing in line at a post office, and President Obama was giving a press conference, and he happened to be speaking about gay marriage. I couldn't hear everything that was being said because a woman came up to me, an older African American woman, and we looked at each other and we had this moment of solidarity before she said, you know, those gay people are just upset because President Obama said that he doesn't believe in gay marriage and they just won't let it go. And it was at that moment I felt completely washed away. That moment of unity that I had was gone. And it seemed as if my existence did not matter. So I want to address this idea of validation. Validation, I think, gets very confused. And let me take a step back from that. To validate another person means to acknowledge their reality. It doesn't necessarily mean that you agree with a person. So I'll take a step back. We are all built and wired for connection to whatever degree. Some of us like having more social interaction. Some of us don't like as much. However, to some degree, we seek belonging. And when we invalidate others, we take away that sense of belonging. Because what that means is that you don't see that person. And at the end of the day, we all want to be seen and understood, but I'm going to go back and just focus on the being seen part. Give you another example. I've worked with a lot of people in a lot of different professions. I have worked with current and ex-gang members. I've worked with current and ex-drug dealers. I have worked with sex workers. I have worked with people in white collar type of professions, blue collar type of professions, what have you. Work is work. So let me take a step back and give you a cleaner example, right? So let me take an example of working with someone who deals drugs. When I'm working with that person and I am validating that person, what I'm not saying, oh yeah, dealing drugs is a great idea. Go ahead and, spin it out like you're dealing a deck of cards. No. When I'm validating that person, I might say something along the lines of, I hear you, and. I hear you, and. Remember that when you put but in a conversation, you wash it out. So if I were to say to someone, I hear you, but you've just washed out everything that came before. So when I'm working with someone, I may say, I hear you. And from the sounds of it, dealing drugs has been serving a purpose because you've been able to provide for yourself and for your family. So I see how it has benefited you in that way. However, we're in this situation together, and I'm wondering, are there any potential consequences? Any potential downfalls of dealing drugs? If they say no, I might explore that a little bit. If they continue to say no, I'm going to back up. However, that person knows that I see them. Even if I don't agree with dealing drugs, which I don't. Go ahead and put that out there. I do not agree with dealing drugs. No. But the point is that the validation was there. And that validation now allows me to continue building a relationship with said person to a point where maybe in the future they'll decide, you know what? I am going to stop dealing drugs. Cool. Let's keep going. However, that person would likely not get there, especially with me, if I did not start at a place of validating their experience, validating their reality, letting them know that they themselves are enough and that they are seen. Full stop. What will help you in your ability to validate others and even validate yourself, which I'm actually going to say validating yourself tends to be harder for my clients. However, both are very important. What's going to help you is to learn to respond. So a lot of times we react when we hear certain things. Someone tells us something and it's that knee-jerk reaction, right? That popcorn type of reaction. Remember automatic thoughts? Well, a reaction is similar to that, however, just in behavior. You stomp your toe, ouch, that's a reaction. Someone cuts you off, you might throw up the bird, reaction. But to respond is to take a step back, take in all the information, and then consciously move from there. What I have found is when my clients are able to stop and respond, it has allowed them to really see the bigger picture and has allowed for them to validate someone else and or themselves, allowing for them to have this sense of emotional belonging, which is so important for emotional wellness. So this was just a quick topic on validation. I will talk about it a lot more just because it comes up with almost every topic that I can think of in some way or another. If you have any questions, please send me a comment. If you like this video, please let me know if there are any other topics that you might be interested in learning about as well. Thank you so much. Make sure you take a second to see yourself because you are already more than enough. Peace and love.